for taking time to tune in this presentation today. My name's Rene, and I work here at MOXA, the Metropolitan Organization to Counter Sexual Assault. Our counseling department provides services for people who have experienced sexual abuse and assault, in addition to individuals who have acted out sexually. One of my favorite programs that we do is our program for youth with sexual behavior problems, and I really enjoy working with parents. It's really difficult for parents when they find out their child has had a sexual behavior problem, and it's hard to know how to talk with kids who are having sexual behavior struggles. First, it's important to let our kids know how much we support them. And secondly, we can work with our kids to help them develop some skills to be more successful. When parents leave our program, we often hear them say they enjoy being together more now than ever. So what's more important than that? One of the best ways that we can support our kids is providing high levels of supervision. Here at MOXA, we refer to it as line of sight supervision. The most important way to send kids our message that they're loved and that we support them is by spending time together and showing our kids we're there for them. It's important to encourage our children to be where we can see them, because you care about them and their future success, not because they're in trouble or because they're bad kids, but because we want them to be really successful, and keeping a close eye on them is a really great way to do that. We want to be careful not to send the message that they're bad kids or that they need to be watched all the time or because they're in trouble, but rather that it's because they're precious to us, and we want to help them in making the best choices possible. They're worthy of our care, supervision, and guidance. Research on success in parenting shows that high levels of expectation coupled with high levels of support bring us the best outcomes. So it's important to monitor technology. It's a good idea to let the kids know you'll be monitoring their devices because you're interested in knowing more about what they're interested in. You want to have them sit down with you for 10 minutes or so and look at the apps that they're using and looking at their history and having them tell you about what's interesting to them on their phones and making decisions together about what kinds of technology use makes sense in your family and with your family value system. So go to some of the sites together and have them tell you about them and share both the things that you like about what they're looking at and the things that you have concerns about. Setting limits with technology is important. But one thing I've learned over the last few years working with kids and their caregivers is that kids have access to technology wherever they go, at church, on the school bus, at school, at their friends' houses. So what's most important is not necessarily spending your energy and time limiting technology, but more importantly, helping your kids develop the problem-solving skills they need to make good choices, make good decisions, and have good refusal skills, have the ability to let other kids know that that's not the behavior that they're interested in. So another great way to provide supervision is just doing things together. Whatever you guys decide for your family makes sense to do, begin to do that regularly and joyfully, and letting the kids know that you're going to be there for them to do that. Another thing is helping your kids develop skills. So one of the most important skills that kids need to develop, and one of the things we hear from caregivers when they leave our program, is how good they feel about the fact that their kids have developed impulse control skills. And here at MOXA we use the STOP steps. So here are a few simple ways to help your kids with this. First, just the idea that we don't have to act on every thought that comes into our head is refreshing. Most of the parents we work with identify impulse control skills as one of the most helpful parts of our program. We all have the experience of acting impulsively, caregivers and kids alike, so we can all relate to this struggle. This is something we all need to work on. There is a possibility of not acting out on thoughts or impulses and then being embarrassed or ashamed or in trouble later. Caregivers, you can identify what would help you slow down and let your kids know what you're working on and the methods that you're using to slow yourself down. What's helped you in the past with this? For some, it's some breathing techniques. Another idea is using the stop, think, and act technique. It's also important to have a conversation with your children about what they would want from you, what would help them, and how can you help them. What are some specific ways you can provide support to them when you notice that they are beginning to act impulsively. Parents can oftentimes watch their kids become kind of what I would say kind of ratchet up. They can see their kids beginning to feel anxious or sort of out of control. And when the child learns how to ask for help around slowing down, it's really nice to compliment your kids when they notice and ask you for help. So thanks for taking the time to listen today. Remember two things: support and skills. I like the idea of thinking about our families as a team. We're all working together and supporting each other to be our best. I hope you'll have a couple of good ideas to support you as you supervise your children and work as teams together, improving your skills. Good luck. Thanks for listening in today.